Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are staying safe in these very uncertain times with this horrible coronavirus, which seems to be sweeping across the world. We've had record number of figures here in the UK in the last 24 hours of people that have died. It's actually over 500 people, which is shocking to say the least. It's nearly tripled in the last 24 hours. So I do hope you are staying safe. I know this is a very difficult time for a lot of people being in self-isolation and being in lockdown, basically. So I do hope that you are taking care of yourself and your loved ones. Now, it's been a shocking week since Corona lockdown, if you like, in the UK started. It was a week ago on Monday. And in that time, we have had 9 killings. So basically in the first week of lockdown in the UK. Now these have come in 4 separate incidents. They're all domestic related killings, if you like, and it raises very real concerns for, the real possibility of an increase in domestic violence in people that mentally unwell, people with anxiety, depression, and how this lockdown is really affecting people. It's affecting their mental health, and people that may be stuck in abusive relationships, maybe they're now finding themselves stuck at home with their partners when before they were able to escape, go to work, get away from it. Hopefully this, what's happened here over the weekend in the UK is not a sign of things to come, because that will be a very extremely worrying trend. So let's take a look at these cases. As I say, it's 4 different cases that all happened over the weekend here in different parts of the United Kingdom. So police have now named 4 family members, including 2 little girls under 5 that were found dead at a property in Woodhall near Chichester on Sunday night in a suspected murder-suicide. Woodhall is a quiet, quaint little village in West Sussex. 42-year-old Robert Needham is alleged to have shot dead his partner, 40-year-old Kelly Fitzgibbons, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Ava and 2-year-old Lexi, before taking his own life. The family's pet dog was also found shot at the house. The property was also home to Robert's mother, who it's believed was not present at the home at the time. 4-year-old Ava and 2-year-old Lexi were found murdered in an upstairs room. Robert and his partner Kelly were then also found dead at the property. A murder investigation is continuing after the discovery of the bodies. However, the Sussex Police Chief said that this is believed to be an isolated incident contained to one property, and in these early stages of the investigation we are not seeking anyone else in connection with the incident. So it can only be presumed that obviously it's a murder-suicide. Post-mortem examinations and formal identification have yet to take place. Now, Robert was known to be a builder. He owned his own building company, which specialised in domestic construction. But that company was dissolved, it's understood, last October. Since then, he had been building an extension for his family after moving back into his mother's home. It was the mother who actually owned the house. Tragically, the death came just 2 days after Miss Fitzgibbons posted a series of photos on Facebook of her family out in the countryside last Friday under the heading "Our Walk for the Day." Sussex police were called to the 3-bedroom home at 6:45 p.m. on Sunday after receiving a call raising a welfare concern for the residents. That's when all 4 were found and pronounced dead at the scene. According to neighbours, the family is said to have been a close family. As I say, the house was owned by the grandmother. After her husband died some years ago, it's believed that Robert and her son moved back in with his partner, and they between them had the 2 children. A lot of neighbours naturally in shock, saying obviously it would take a lot for somebody to do something like that, but there was no evidence, no previous evidence that there was a problem. Robert was understood to have been building an extension for the family to live in, but whilst he was building that, he wasn't getting an income from any other building work, so it may have been issues over finance, it may have been issues over people living together in confined conditions. Nobody's really going to know, unfortunately. Others say that they believe Robert and Kelly and the children tended to stay in a section of the house, and Robert's mother stayed in another section of the house. And they don't know how Robert used to get on with Kelly, but there was never, as I say, any evidence of any previous discord or anything of that nature. If you have any information about this incident, you're asked to please report it online or call 101, quoting Operation Cotton. If you are any family members or friends or may know anything about their situation, then please call that number. Also on Sunday, a 40-year-old husband has been charged with murdering his healthcare worker wife, who's aged just 31, with whom it was said he had recently broken up with despite marrying her only 6 months ago. Victoria Woodhall, 31, a mother of 3, was stabbed multiple times on Sunday evening outside her home in the village of Middlecliff near Barnsley in South Yorkshire. Victoria, who worked at Rotherham General Hospital, was attacked in Windsor Crescent, as I say, in the Middlecliff area of Barnsley just before 5 p.m. on Sunday. Yesterday, forklift truck driver Craig Woodhall, 40 years old, appeared at Doncaster Magistrates Court charged with murder and was remanded in custody to appear at Sheffield Crown Court on Thursday. The couple got married just 6 months ago, but was said to have recently broken up. They have 2 sons together. Victoria's ex-husband and her childhood friend of 20 years said that his 13-year-old daughter, who they had together, or he had together with Victoria, is said to be in complete bits after hearing news of her mother's death. Posting on Facebook, he wrote, "I can't believe this has happened. She was the most amazing mum to my daughter, even though we weren't together anymore. When we were married, she was absolutely amazing and would do absolutely anything for anyone. When we split, we still talked on and off. To go from me and my daughter seeing her yesterday afternoon before she went back home to being told this, I really truthfully don't know what to say. My daughter is in absolute bits." Police said that a post-mortem carried out on March 30th found that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds. Friends said that Victoria was an operating department practitioner who was always helping others and lived for her children. They said that Victoria worked really hard at university, qualifying to become an ODP at the Rotherham General Hospital. She will be deeply missed by friends, family and her children. She was lovely and caring, always helping others, and sadly she was taken away at a young age of just 31. In South Wales, a husband appeared in court yesterday accused of strangling his wife of 44 years at their semi-detached home. Anthony Williams, 69, is accused of killing his wife Ruth, 67, a former worker for Asda supermarket, at their semi-detached home in Cwmbran in South Wales on Saturday, where they had been self-isolating due to this recent coronavirus outbreak. Mrs. Williams was found unconscious and unresponsive at the property and died later in hospital of suspected strangulation. They were said by people that knew them to be in a loving 44-year marriage, and her death is just a complete mystery, or a mystery as to why the husband would have done this. Anthony is a retired construction worker and was remanded in custody and appeared at Cardiff Crown Court yesterday. As I say, Mrs. Williams was found unconscious shortly before 7 a.m. on Saturday last weekend. It is understood that she received her injuries some hours earlier. One neighbour described the couple as devoted and said Mrs. Williams was always a really nice and chatty lady. And as to why her husband would have done this, nobody can make head or tail of it. And then finally, in this last tragic case, again, on Sunday just gone this weekend, a married couple and their daughter were killed after a fire tore through their home in Hemel Hempstead, Hertfordshire. Gary Walker, 57, Caroline Walker, 50, and Katie Walker, 24 years old, were pronounced dead at the scene. Firefighters smashed the front door down after smoke was spotted pouring out of a window at the end of Terrace House, where draftsman Gary, his wife Caroline, and their 24-year-old daughter Katie lived. Police are understood to be considering theories, including one, that one family member killed the other two before setting fire to the property. One of the neighbours who raised the alarm speculated that there could have been a trigger caused by the lockdown, the recent lockdown that everyone across the world now is being put into. The neighbour said that what happened is not sort of in character for them. I reckon something has gone wrong. I don't think it was accidental. They were such a nice family, it is unbelievable. The coronavirus pandemic could have sparked anxieties in them, you just don't know. If people have mortgages and you don't know how secure your job is, you're going to be worried. The neighbour added that we called the fire brigade when I saw smoke coming from the toilet. We were shocked when we heard what happened. They were a quiet family and had lived here for a long time. He said that Gary had worked as a draftsman while Caroline had worked at a supermarket. Their daughter Katie worked with animals. They'd apparently lived at the property for around 30 years. The couple also had a son, Christopher, who's 28, and another daughter, Sarah, who's 26. Another neighbour said they were a lovely family. They had been here for about 30 years. It is a terrible tragedy. We don't know what happened. Now, one of the detectives of the Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire Major Crime Unit said the deaths were suspicious, but that they were not seeking anyone else in connection to the incident. So all of these cases that have happened here in the UK over the weekend raise real fears. Is there going to be a spike in domestic or mental health related violent incidents or killings, even during this coronavirus lockdown? You know, it raises real fears. Is there going to be more domestic violence related issues? As I say, mental health related issues, mental health related killings, due to looking at NHS statistics, there's about 100 to 120 homicides by people with mental illness in the UK every year. So that's at least 2 a week as a baseline. So are we going to see an increase in this because of the pressures of the virus and the lockdown that we're all in? People possibly having problems accessing services, people with mental health issues. Could there be an increase in people self-harming? As I say, definitely people that are maybe in abusive relationships, maybe now find that they can't get away from it as much. Are people going to struggle being stuck in together all the time? People that have got job worries, financial worries, as I say, mental health issues that maybe they can't get the support that they're used to getting. You know, these are very real concerns. So I'd really be interested to hear your comments on whether you think that this coronavirus lockdown could see a spike in domestic related crimes and domestic related incidents, or even mental health related crime or criminal incidents. I'll be very interested to hear your comments below.